I'm gonna have you do an activity. It's gonna be timed. Just do the best that you can, okay? All right, I'm gonna have you flip it over. 3, 2, 1. All right, and go. 10 seconds have passed. 20 seconds have passed. 30 seconds have passed. You gotta get all of them filled out in 1 minute. 40 seconds have passed. 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, stop. All right, Liv, that's the first activity done. For the next activity, you're gonna flip it over and do the next project, okay?
What?
And you're gonna flip it over. You're on the back. No, sorry, in a second.
Like,
Yeah, just, yep, that first page. Yes, flip it over. Perfect. Slay.
and now?
And go. You have 1 minute to complete this.
I'll be waiting this minute.
Can you please give me 10 for science? The ones are easy. They're just whatever number is being multiplied by. You're at 33 seconds. 40. You're doing great.
Keep your numbers. I'm gonna keep your book.
10, 9, 8, 7. It's only 48 seconds left. Wait. 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Done. Go bam. All right. Final activity, Liv. On the last page, you're gonna have to write the ABCs backwards in 1 minute. Do the best you can. You ready? 3, 2, 1, go. You're at 5 seconds already.
Wait, how many seconds?
You go 1 minute.
Oh.
60 seconds. You're at 10 seconds. It's been 15 seconds. But how many do you have? You have 20 seconds. Seconds have passed. 50 seconds. 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5. Wait, no. Okay, Liv, what sensation did you have after finishing that? Do you feel any different?
I felt a little, like I felt my heart flutter a little bit while I was doing it, especially the first one, because you counting down as I was doing it, I couldn't focus, and it was like almost, there's no other way to say it other than like, it was like stressful, for sure. All of them were. And math is not my strong suit, so that one was not my favorite.
Sweet. Alright, so that reaction that you were experiencing, which is the heart fluttering or the butterfly sensation, sometimes people feel nausea. What that is the sympathetic nervous system or your fight or flight response being activated by a stressor. And in this case, it was the word search, the spelling the ABCs backwards, and the multiplication table. In other instances, we see this response in like studying for, well, about to take an exam, or even public speaking. I know for me that's a big one. But this response is due to a communication between the microbes in your gut and your brain. And we're gonna kind of just like break down what exactly that means. So your brain consists of regions, and one of those is the hypothalamus. And when your sympathetic nervous system is activated, which is like that your fight or flight response, it activates your hypothalamic pituitary axis is what it's called, or HPA. And really what that means is your hypothalamus is getting a signal that there's something really stressful happening and we gotta respond to it. And so what it does is it sends a little message down to what's called the anterior pituitary, which is another region of your brain that's a little bit lower. And in that region, it's processing this like response from the hypothalamus. Is like, okay, we've got a stressor. Now I'm gonna go activate another region of the body. And what the anterior pituitary does is it sends a signal down through the vagus nerve to the kidneys, and act more specifically on the kidneys, the adrenal glands. And the adrenal glands is where cortisol is produced. And a lot of people know cortisol is the stress hormone. And what cortisol does is it increases heart rate, it increases blood pressure, which is why, like you said, your heart started fluttering. That is due to that response. Your body is like priming and prepping for that fight or flight. And it also, what it does is it inhibits digestion and it inhibits your immune system. And in really severe cases of chronic stress or just prolonged stress, which I think a lot of us can say that we've been in periods where we've been stressful for a long time. What that does is it inhibits these systems and it can cause a lot of problems for our bodies. Cortisol can be very hard on our body systems when it's in prolonged and high quantities. However, what's really cool is that we have microbes, and microbes are little tiny bacteria inside of our stomach that actually help regulate this stress response system. So in good healthy quantities and a good diverse microbe community, people have been shown in like studies too, they've done this in germ-free mice and mice with germs, and mice with like a good microbiota community in their gut, they are able to respond appropriately to stressful scenarios and situations and cope well. And this can also be seen in people too, through nutrition. And so in unhealthy mice, or mice, I guess, that don't have that germ layer or like that microbiota community, what ends up happening is they are not able to respond as well to stress, they're not regulating, and so cortisol is still being produced in high quantities and they're not regulating that appropriately. Stress is a natural response and it is healthy when it is done right, but when it becomes imbalanced and irregular, that's where you start to see problems in other systems. And so all of that to really say is stress is something that we often feel like we can't control. However, there are ways to mediate it and better manage it, and that is through nutrition. And that might seem like something like a little like, oh, okay, you know, eating better, we all say we're gonna do that, but genuinely eating healthy foods and a well-balanced diet that is including everything in the food group is essential to supporting the microbes in your gut that help you regulate stress. And so when you're eating fast foods and high fats, very like saturated, you know, like if you're going to McDonald's all the time or just like eating a lot of really crappy processed foods, what that really does is it inhibits your body's ability to better respond to stress because you're not getting the right nutrients to support these microbes. So in turn, a study was done on people but in college students actually, and they compared diets of people who had a really healthy and well-regulated balanced diet and people who didn't have a good diet, were eating high processed foods, high in fats, fast food, just not good, and lacking a lot of fiber. What they found is that those people were unable to cope as well. They were a lot more stressed and they ended up binge eating even more. However, in people who had healthier, well-balanced diets, they found that they were able to better regulate stress, they were better able to cope, and in turn, they didn't feel the need to binge eat. So really just the main takeaway of this is that stress happens. We all get, it's gonna happen no matter what. But the beauty of it is that We have microbes in our gut that help support our body in regulating stress, and in return, our job is to nutritionally eat better to better support these microbes, so that when we are stressed, when we are, thinking about finals or homework or deadlines, we're able to kind of mediate that response and better respond so that we can be healthier and be better, happier people. Thanks for listening.